As you can see, we got a bunch of tires out here. So today's video, we're going to be talking tires. So first off, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be an overview of the tires I'm running for this year. I'll be running Shinko Tires the whole year. Super happy working with them, run their stuff. I've ran their tires before and have been really happy with them. So obviously I jumped in the opportunity to be able to run their tires and help them out for the year. So that is what we're doing. So I'm going to go through and tell you all the exact tires I have here, and then we're going to go through durometer read them, which is with this little tool here. It's a durometer. It's a tool which it tests the hardness of materials. So metals for welding and stuff like that, you use it. You also use it for, you can use it for tire because tires are rubber, and rubbers all have a different reading. We're going to set that right there, but we're going to go through that after I talk about and introduce all the tires. So I have 2 fronts and I have 6 rears here. These will be going on the Gas EC300 and on the YZ250FX. So I'll explain which ones are going where and kind of why. So to start, we have the front, and pardon my notes on the wall so I don't mess up with what I'm saying. I'm going to be looking at them. We have the 216 MX fronts. These are both 216 MX fronts. This is a 90/90 size. This larger one is a 90/100 fatty, also in a cheater compound. So we have standard compound 90/90 front, soft compound 90/100 fatty front. This will go on the YZ250FX for now. This will go on the Gas EC300 for now, and we might switch. I don't know. I don't think I'll want a fatty on the 4-stroke, but we might try it. Next, we have the 520. I can read the sticker. 520 dual compound. This is a very cool looking tire. If you follow or watch any of his videos, Kyle Brotherson talked about this tire on Dirt Bike Channel. He's ran it. He liked it a lot, so I was like, well, crap, I need to try it. It's an interesting tire. We'll get into a little bit later of what's so special about that one. That'll go on the Gas. And then we have the 540, which is a off-road hard compound motocross hare scramble desert style tire. It's got a very open tread pattern, good for mud, good for sand. So that will be going on the 250FX, which will fit perfect for what I'm using it for. So that is that tire, the 540. It's in the 110/100. So it's a small tire. I wanted a small carcass for that 250 4-stroke, so I wouldn't bog that motor down as bad. Next, we have the 505 cheater, which, as you can tell, it really resembles a trials tire, and that's really what I caught my eye with it. Is it's a soft compound in a trials format tire, which I think will be great for what I do for general trail purposes. It's not necessarily a competition tire, but it'll be great to get out there and test it for you guys that ride a lot of rocky trail and want good traction, good long living tire, long life, but also quality traction when you need it. That's the 505 cheater. Then we have the most known tire that you hear of Shinko, which is the 525 cheater. Similar compound to the 505, similar knob idea, but as you can see, it has a little bit smaller knobs, but a more traditional blocked style tire. Again, it's in a softer compound, and it's generally just a decent all-around carcass tire. It's a little bit heavy, a little bit thick carcass, but with that we have the 525 general thought of it. It won't be a competition tire for me. It will most likely just be again, like the 505, everyday riding, trail use, like that. And then we have these 2 tires in the end. We have the 216 MX, 216 SX. They are both 140/80 tires. The difference in them is the MX has a harder tire compound, also a harder carcass, where the SX has a softer knob and softer carcass compound. So the SX will most likely be my competition tire for the year for the hard enduro circuit, where the MX might just be a good general training tire, if I need a tire to last longer, any of that. But most likely you'll see me running this SX 216 for 90% of what I'm doing on the gas. So with that, we have our competition gummy. Possibly this dual sport might be. It's looking really promising, but for sure 216SX will be my competition gummy tire. And then we have our two hybrid gummies, and then we have our one dual compound tire, and then we have, I would almost call this MX a hybrid gummy as well, so we might put it in this group. So we have our competition, our hybrid gummies, we have our desert motocross tire for the 250FX, we have our dual compound, which I'm not sure where this tire is going to fall in the category of usage, and then we have our fronts. So that's pretty much what I have here to try out for right now with the Shinko line. So we're going to go through and run a durometer meeting so you guys can kind of get a range of what I'm saying, soft, hard tires. So let's start on this 90/90 front. This is their standard compound front. And also I want to, as a disclaimer with this durometer reading, everyone's going to get a different reading because the tires are going to be a different temperature. The colder it is, the harder tires are, the hotter it is, the softer they are. It's about 35-40 degrees right now where I'm at, and these have been in the trailer all night long, so these tires are cold, so they will be a little stiffer than generally what I'm going to be using them in. So let's see what we get off this. We zero it out. All right, 72, and our other spot was, where'd it go? There it is. Get it on there straight. 70. So generally you'll see front tires in the 70 to 80 range durometer reading. Most front tires are pretty stiff compounds, pretty hard. So that is the general compound of this Shinko 216MX, is about a reading of 70 on a durometer. Now we have the gummy front. Sorry about the wind. It must be coming with a storm over the mountains, so we're getting a little windy. 53.5, and running about 57. So let's check here again. 54. All right, so you can see the difference. We have about a 70 on the standard compound. There goes my notes, and a 55-ish for the soft compound. That's a big difference, so that you will feel that when you're riding. So as you can see, that's the cheater compound in this fatty cheater compound front. Now let's move to the dual compound. I'm going to move these fronts so we can see better. So with this dual compound, the idea is these top knobs, center knobs, are softer than these edge knobs. So let's check this center knob here. That's not right. There we go. 44, 47, 45. So let's say about a 45 to 47 on the center knobs. Let's check it on this knob here. It's reading about a 45. So let's just say the center knobs are right at 45. That's quite soft for a gummy tire. And the side knobs are about a 65 to 70. So as you can see, that's the dual compound idea. These side knobs are stiff, where these center knobs are really soft. Can't wait to get this one on there. I'm really curious how this tire is going to feel. So that's the dual compound with that. Now let's get to my tire I'm going to be running for motocross on the 215FX and also hair scrambles. So we're running about a 70 in the center knob. Yeah, we're running right at about a 70 on the center knob. So as you can see, that's a big difference between this dual compound, which you saw that side knob was about a 70, but the centers are about a 45, where this standard compound off-road tire is a 70 all the way around. So that's that softer compound mixed into this dual compound tire. Pretty interesting. Now we move on to the 505, where'd my knobs go? There we go. We have this one. 52 and 53. So as you can see, this 505 is a little bit harder compound right now as the dual compound 520. Interesting to see. But again, remember, the side knobs in this dual compound are hard, where this 505 is soft all the way around. So that's interesting to see. So far the softest knobs we've got to is in this dual compound. So now let's look at the 505, or the 525, sorry about that. About a 55. So this 525 is a little tiny bit harder rubber than the 505. Still, that's the 50 range. The 50 to 60 range is about your hybrid gummies, where your 40s, your 50s and below are your competition gummy, and then your 65 to above 70 is your off-road motocross style tire in a durometer reading. So let's move on to the MX, the 216 MX, which is the stiffer of the two 140s. We have 65, pretty stiff. 65. So as you can see, this MX model is stiffer than both of our hybrid tires and a lot stiffer than this dual compound. So that's interesting to see. Now let's compare it to the SX model. $47, $46, $47. So same tire tread, same tire design, totally different compound in rubber. As you saw, there's a big difference, and that's where you get this super soft gummy feel of this tire. So that's pretty surprising to look at the numbers on all these tires. But the crazy part is when you start comparing this dual compound, which was a 44 to 45, and this competition tire is like a 46, 47. So the softest tire we have here is actually the dual compound, which is really surprising. That's why, when I stated earlier, this might become my competition tire depending on the race. But as you can see, we have a distinct change. We have the hard front tire, soft front tire. We have our hard motocross tire here, the 540. We have our two hybrids. We have our stiff 140, which not sure what I'll use this 140 for, but I'm going to get it on there first and try it out. And then we have our two very soft gummy tires. So pretty cool lineup from Shinko. Interested to get them on there and see how they all feel, because I am intrigued, especially with this dual compound tire. So that will be my most intrigued tire here. But there you go. There's kind of the overview of what these tires are and how they all line up with each other. Like we saw at the reading, we have our softest, which is the 520. Remember, it's a dual compound, so the sides are hard. Then we have the 216 SX. Then we have the 505, 525, 216 MX, 540. Quite interesting how that played out in there. I was not expecting that. But that's pretty much for this video. I just wanted to let you guys see what I'm going to be running on the bike. These will all be most likely paired with Nitromoose bibs, and all relatively changing compounds for what I'm using it for, and stiffness in the bib. So quick overview for what I'm doing with the new setup this year. Alright, I think that wraps up this video. I don't have much else to share until I get some time on the bikes. I will be reviewing all these tires at a later date, but I wanted to let you guys have a thorough thought of what I'm running and see what these Shinkos are all about when you start looking at numbers. There we have it. Thanks for checking the channel out. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoy.